Welcome everybody to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast, and in this video we're going to give you our non-spoiler review for Gen V. We're early to the game. Again, stick with us. We got a lot to cover. Non-spoiler, of course, so you're safe with us. Supes are always welcome. Dylan, what a great episode. Without further ado, why don't we get to it?
Great, 2 episodes because we actually got to see episodes 1 and 2. Thank God for early screenings. But yeah, I enjoyed the first 2 episodes. It has the same adult flavor that we love from The Boys. So if you're worried about if they Disney Plus this series, don't worry. They actually doubled down hard on it.
Really hard.
All the violence and jokes are there, but it definitely has its own kind of basket of humor and graphicness in its own style. It's definitely more for younger audiences because it's a younger cast, so some new fresh faces that we've seen. What did you think of the cast, Akram?
I think they were really great. Some of the cast members didn't stand out as much, but for the most part, I think you have your main ensemble group, just like The Boys. And I think some of these characters, they're really interesting. It's like you always bring up contemporary stuff. Like what Dylan and I mean by that is it too annoying? Like, oh, let me go to Tinder. Let me check this out. Or let me get your Snap. Or it's not super hardcore like that, but it's still, you could kind of, unfortunately,
they do it. They do it, but it fits for this.
It does
because
fit.
The Boys is a social commentary. It's like satirical,
right?
So it kind of fits for this show because it's about younger people, and like they always talk about like, oh, do you have like Instagram or some shit? So it kind of fits within this story. So this, I didn't mind it as much.
Sure. And I think another thing that maybe people are wondering is the superpowers. What did you think of the superpowers in this show? I'm
not gonna lie, some of them felt kind of lackluster.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm used to like Homelander being like the most OP,
right?
Especially after last season when we got like so many cool powers out of like Soldier Boy and even Butcher. This show, it feels like Godolkin University is basically Sky High, but everyone there is either a junkie or an OnlyFans girl.
That's what it is. That's a perfect example of what you just gave.
Sorry if I'm not PC, but that's basically how it felt like to me.
That's what it is. No, everybody, and they have this what do you call it? Like this complex issue where they think that they're kind of better than everybody, and like I think the main character, Marie Moreau, played by Jazz Sinclair, I think she's wonderful. She does act as the lead. So she's basically the lead of this show. And she has, as you've seen from the trailer, she has like these blood powers, which is absolutely disgusting. But she hasn't reached the tip of the iceberg yet with her powers. As we can see, she's always practicing. There is a main mystery that I'm not going to spoil in this show, but it was kind of alluded to in The Boys season, 2 or 3? Oh, season 2, actually. So we kind of get more into it. It's a really cool sandbox that they're playing with.
Mm. Yeah, I thought Jazz Sinclair was really good as Marie. She has some cool powers. I wonder if like her nickname will be like Bloody Mary or Bloody Marie.
That was like a joke,
cool nickname or something.
I didn't mind that one. She didn't like it. I didn't mind it.
I'm not gonna lie, her powers kind of gross me. I don't know if you felt the same, Akram, but I cringed a lot. I don't like anything with blood, to be honest. But it's interesting. I never seen. It's kind of like bloodbending from Avatar. That's what I kind of thought of. So she can kind of like manipulate her blood and other people's blood. I thought that was a really cool superpower. I'd never seen anything like that in the Boys universe. Yeah,
for sure. Guys, pay attention to what he just said too, because that might be a metaphor for something and it might go deeper a little bit later on,
Yeah, for sure. And we don't know the extent of her powers. I mean, she seems like pretty novice. I mean, most of them are pretty novice because they're younger. And a lot of them seem like they don't have control of their powers yet. Some of them might be a little more advanced. And the thing about this university is like it's very much like VOT, where like everybody's competing. Like it's like a rank system, kind of like, so everybody's like competing for like a spot at the 7, basically. So it's like when a spot opens up. So of course last season when we saw half the 7 either died or got expelled, whatever. So of course there's spots open right now. So in a way it's kind of like a commentary in like how colleges work. It's like everybody's just like competing and fighting for like the next opportunity, but it's more competitive because this world is very violent and you kind of have to backstab people just to get like ahead, right?
Yeah, and it also exemplifies certain tropes of social media. I think we could all grab that from, just everyday life, where it's kind of hard, especially in content creation, right? If you don't have a huge social media following. And this college is really...
Don't we know?
Yeah, I know. This university is really superficial in a way. They pay attention. They keep bringing up numbers from Instagram followers and stuff like that. So that plays a big part. And I think you guys are going to definitely understand this a little bit later on. Now, if you guys are wondering, is this show absolutely gory? We touched on a little bit about this. Yes, absolutely is very gory. A lot does happen. We're not going to spoil it, of course. And I think you guys are going to be really surprised with one of the main characters. Like, what happens is like, oh my God, in the first episode, it was absolutely crazy. But do you have any other thoughts before we...
Yeah, like you said, they don't hold back on the graphic content, the sexual content either.
Sure, yeah.
They really don't hold back on it. I mean, it's college kids, so it's like what you expect. It's like The Boys, but like at a 10, right? They just up the ante. I don't know how older audiences or fan of The Boys would react to this show. I mean, it definitely feels like it's meant for younger audiences. It has its own, like I said, it has its own flavor, because they're not dealing with the big stakes of dealing with like Homelander. It's kind of like it's got its own mystery to it that we'll see. But it is interesting, and I definitely can't wait to see what episode 3 brings, because it's going to be coming out this week. So Ooh. I cannot wait to see that. But Akram, what would you rate these 2 episodes if you had to rate it?
Yeah, absolutely. I would rate, for sure, I think I would rate episode 1 a solid 9 out of 10. There was some stuff that happened there that really shocked me, as you would expect from The Boys or anything from the world of The Boys. So that was really cool. And I agree with you. I don't know if other, veterans from The Boys would actually like this show. It definitely introduces newer things, but at the same time, it has that flavor. So I think it's all encompassing with trying to just get different types of audiences. So I think episode 1s are really important, especially when you're introducing a new show. And for sure, I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So that's a 9 out of 10. And I think for episode 2, I honestly would give episode 2 a solid 8 out of 10. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It doesn't mean it's like, oh, it's kind of mid. It's still pretty good. I enjoyed it fairly a lot. So yeah.
I would have to agree with your ratings, my friend, but you guys heard it here. That is our 9 non-spoiler thoughts on episodes 1 and 2 of Gen V. I hope you guys will stick around, because we will be giving a spoiler review when it does release. So I can't wait for you guys to hear that. We'll be covering it when the series comes out as well. But yeah, check out our other content, guys. We have plenty of reviews this week. We are so busy, but we have a lot of great shows coming out this week and a lot of great movies as well. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, let us know what you would like to see us review. But guys, until then, thanks for having lunch with us.
See you guys.